Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how to take some data from Excel and make a contour plot in MATLAB. And I'm going to start with the screen share. Let's see if that's working. Okay, there we go. And so this is kind of the outline of what we're going to do. If you want, you could just pause the video and see if you could do it yourself. I'm also going to kind of walk you through the whole thing. And so just notice that I have my data already figured out. If you don't know how I got my data, like you could either collect some data in the lab or I showed how to make this theoretical data in a previous video. So I have my data ready. So what we're going to do is walk through this procedure and let's see how it goes. I'm going to keep this on my other screen over here just so I can follow along. Okay, and so if you're not sure how to get here, I just Googled MATLAB online. You can go to the online versions, and then you should be able to start using MATLAB. And I've already logged in, so you may need to log in here, but you can see that I've already logged in. So I'm going to click Open MATLAB Online and get to work. Okay. All right, and so the first thing I'm going to do is select new variable. So you can see I'm up at the top of the screen, near the middle of the screen, and I'm selecting new variable. Give it a sec. And now I see this Excel spreadsheet. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come over to here, highlight the data I want. Notice I'm not getting the labels. I'm not highlighting the labels, just getting the actual data that we've generated. So I'm going to hit Control C for copy. And now I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to click somewhere over into here. Sometimes you got to click out and then click back in. And then I'm going to click Control V. If you get a cut and paste error, I oftentimes get that. It's because you accidentally entered the cell. You try and enter the entire matrix into the first cell. That doesn't happen. All right. So next, I'm going to name this. So let's just call this, how about just data for right now? Or I think this was theory data. So let's give it a name, theory data. Hit enter. Now I've got it. I drop into the command window down here. I'm going to type contour, and I like contour F, which is a field. So I'm going to click contour F of, what did I call it? Theory underscore data. And I'm going to hit enter. Give it a sec. All right. So this is starting to look good. There's quite a few things wrong here. Number one, I don't know what these colors mean. Like, what does yellow mean? Is that positive, negative? I could mouse over here and try to figure things out, but it would help if we had what's called a color bar. So I'm going to show you the command that I'm going to use. Um, so I'm going to use these two commands in the command bar, and that basically adds the color bar and gives it the name C. And then I can actually put a label on the color bar with these two lines of code. It's a little bit goofy, but this seems to be the fastest way to do it. So I'm going to do that. So C equals color bar, enter. The color bar pops up, but there's no label on it. So C, and I think this is case sensitive. I don't really care. I'm just getting the job done. If you really want to be good at MATLAB, take a MATLAB course, okay? So this is just an introduction. I'm going to use whole words in my labels in my MATLAB plots, um, because then I don't have to think about italics and as much markup language. Now, here you might be saying, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to use the caret 2 in my formatting. Watch what happens. In MATLAB, it recognizes that as a superscript. So, in short, if you want to learn more about the color bar, you could just Google it and read all day about it. Okay, so there's all kinds of information here. Great. There's all different stuff, how to label it, specify the tick marks. We'll do that in a minute. If you want to know about superscripts and such, right, it shows you everything about. So just use Google to figure out anything you need or any other web browser of your choice. All right. So next, I'm going to add an X label. All right. And for me, I think the X label was hanging mass. And I think the units I used were grams. And again, I'm going to use words so I don't have to think about as much. I don't have to think about italics at all, which is convenient for me. So that looks like that. And now I'm going to add a Y label. I think this was incline angle in degrees for me. Okay, looking good. Next, I'm gonna hit format, select plot and edit. And now I'm going to click more properties. This just allows me to get done a little bit faster than doing properties one at a time. This brings up this thing called the property inspector. And watch what I can do here. I could change the font right away. I could change the font size. I like to use 18-point font if I'm going to be giving a presentation. Looks a little large right now, but it'll look great on the screen. I can edit my labels. So down here, you could see I can click on these little three dots on the side and edit the labels. Think about your sig figs when you're doing this. So in this case, we could do, I think let's see, the X was hanging mass, so it was 0.0 grams. And then I think we had 4.0, 8.0, 12.0. There might be a faster way to do this, but you know what? It's usually not, doesn't take that long. There we go. I'm going to go edit the Y tick labels now. So I'm going to go to here. And I think the angles we used were not 1 to 6, but actually 0. And I'm keeping sig figs. Hopefully we can get this to a half an angle, a half a degree, I mean. So a little boring. Whatever. Let's just get it done. Okay, so now this is starting to look pretty good. What about the color bar, right? We could actually go to tools and go to the color map editor and do some extra work here. You could select which color scheme you want to use. I kind of like HSV or turbo or something fun. That just looks more fun to me, right? You can also come down here and set the limits rather than going from uh, some random number like this. Why don't we just pick a nice even range like that? So kind of setting the limits allows us to have control. All right, so I'm going to click OK on that. And then let's see here. We can actually click on the color bar again in the property inspector and edit the labels because I could actually edit that to make the sig figs look nice. And part of the reason you're doing this is just so when everything looks clean and nice, people spend less time looking at how goofy your formatting is and more time looking at the quality of your data. All right. And so I think, let's see, I'm just going to check if we've done everything at this point. We figured out the color bar, labeled it. You could use the caret for superscript, underscore for subscript. You could actually use Greek letters like this. So if you wanted to get a theta in your label, watch this. You could actually, I could type, I believe, slash theta. And then when I hit enter, you could actually get Greek letters in there if you want. I don't want that because I just typed out the word. So let's get rid of that. Enter. Okay. Let me see what else I wanted to talk about. We did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. And then how do you get this into your presentation? All right, so I'm going to get rid of this property inspector now. What we could do is we can actually, let me make sure plots here. Whoops. Figure, here we go. We can save this as you could export it as a figure, right? But we could let's just do a PNG, or you could do whatever you want here. Give it a second here. Let's see here. What do I want to save this as? How about oh, you know what we might want to do actually? Let me go back to one other thing. Before we export this, we might want to change the aspect ratio because right now this thing's hella wide, right? So we could actually go into format, more properties, and then oops, more properties. Okay. And so we should be able to go into here and adjust the size of things and make this kind of a nice size before we export it. I apologize for not doing that earlier. But yeah, so think if you're going to compare a theoretical graph to a experimental graph on the same plot, you might want them to be a little bit less wide so you can see both of them on the same chart or on the same slide in PowerPoint. So now that we've got that, right, maybe we want to export this. So we'll go to Figure, Save As, Export to Ping. And then we could say, okay, let's just call it that. All right. And now to find this thing, right? Let me see. This is where I'm not the fastest because I haven't used MATLAB online all the time. I think we go to, let's go to, where is it? I forgot to check this right before I started making the video. I'm going to, I think it's MATLAB Drive. There it is. Sorry about that, a little slow. And there it is. You can actually click on this figure and you can download it. And once you download it, you can go get that figure and do whatever you want and edit it in your slides. I think that's everything I wanted to get today, but that showed you how to make a contour plot from some Excel data. All right.